Hi guys, and welcome to yet another video, and this one is revealing the gifts I made for my Christmas Hub winner. Yay! And that is Letty, and she got a channel under here, and I will of course put the link to her channel below. And if I'm not remembering wrong, that was my little sweet piece. Woohoo! Okay, so as I promised, there is I was going to make something for her, for the winner, and I went over to her channel and checked out what kind of colors she liked, and I picked up, she said in a video that lavender or purple was one of her favorite colors, so I worked with that because I have never worked with that color in anything, you know, particular, perhaps a little bit in a card or something. So I wanted to do that, and I figured out this project a long time ago. Not for her, it was something else, but I wanted to do this for her because it's a little bit special and it have a dual purpose. Now, as I also said, it's gonna be gifts from Shabbylishmas, and so it is. So as you can see here now, this is a bunch of gift bags, right? But it's more. It's a gift bag banner. And that means if I pull this out, you can see that this is a banner, and I can just wrap it up. You know, this is a little bit big to film, and you can see, right, I can fit them all into the screen at the same time, okay? But let me go through this, and they're all packed with some yumminess from the store. Woohoo! And let me go through one by one. And the gift bags, well, I was going to spell the name of the winner, and her name is Leticia. So that is a little bit too long for banner, so I shortened it to Letty, which I know is a typical short name for that name. And of course I used the vintage images, the napkins from the store. There will be more coming in, guys, so don't worry about that. And I did a lot of mixed media in addition to the normal decorating. You have double layering here. It's the vintage Norwegian book paper, and that was die cut, so you can see there's a die cut going on. It's the negative side of the die cut, and on top of that I've glued down the napkin. And there is also bits and pieces of napkins around, and I had one singular napkin that had lavender on it. And I just put that on all of them. I made it fit, so I had a little bit on all of them. And here's another die cut, and I stick a lid up, and to make the flaps here go down, because you know I fill these bags, I needed something of a weight here, so I used the rhinestone flower centers from the shop, and this is from my stash, this crystal, so that gives it weight, so it closes. And also I used these flowers there. Let's see if we can show them. And these have a little bit of gesso on them, and then some stickles, right? And you can see it's just a little hint of that napkin going on almost everywhere. And then I had these tiny little, well, kind of sequins things, and I used them all over. Now this lace was from my stash, and so was this fabric here, which I cut up. It was a tiny piece of fabric I had left from another project in a lavender tone. And also underneath here I had a little bit of rosette trim in lavender. And also on the back here I mixed up a color that was a little bit lavender, and this little trim here is from Shabbylishmas. And I think it's all fine having those big laces and so on, but you need those little trims, and they can be used for so many things. It can be used for gift wrapping, they can be used to edging things like this, lots of things. Alright, so here, this is a wild orchid craft flower. Hi Shilpa, yes, you gave me these. And as you can see, they're not quite as they come anymore, and that's because I treated it with some Martha Stewart paints in the mother of pearl. And these butterflies here is from the store, and they got a little touch of gesso on them. And this heart lace and this lace under here is from my own stash, but then again under here is from the store. And this is this beautiful lace here, and as you can see in the back, it's pretty wide. And to make the bags more sturdy, I covered them with paper on the back. Now these bags, when it's like a gift banner, it holds laces, only laces. You don't want them to be too bulky because you know that can go wrong. And these here is from my stash, and they're vintage, and I found these in Miami last spring. And between them, let's see, this one is 12. Between them, there's this ribbon from the shop. Okay, so the next bag. The same treatment on the bottom of all the laces, no, all the bags, and same treatment around the edges, but the difference is the placement of the things. And also I used a butterfly here, and here you can see it's the negative I used on the book papers, and I really like how that came out. And here you can see the E. And here's a little bit of the flowers from the back, from the napkin. You can see. So I really like putting mixed media into Shabby Chic project, because it just gives it that extra dimension. It's both papers, it is fabrics, and it's just these little details. You can see something new all the time. And this here is a little piece of some note paper I had stuck in my cord vault, and I thought, okay, it's time to get it out now, so I used it up. So, and there you can see I treated the leaves with my background paint, and then it's stickle and gesso on top of that. And there's these little doodads from the store, and they have this aurora borealis finish to them, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And then this is the middle bag, and I used one bigger image on this, and you can see this negative space here just creates that extra interest and really makes it pop. And here you have more flowers from the napkin. It's the main flower in the napkin. A little crown with a little bit of gesso on it, not too much because I think it can be overdone sometimes. And there you have this new other cluster, and it's bigger, and it's the focal point of the banner. So, and this is also wild orchid craft flowers, and this is all from my stash. And here you can see I swirl. You can see I have a line going down here, and then like that. The S is kind of like an S line, and it just makes it so elegant. And it's also going like so, and then out there. Really pretty. I really like how it turned out. Now, next one. Let's see. go. And now the images are turned towards the main image. They are on the opposite direction, yeah, on the other side of the main image. You can see this pretty die cuts, and these papers, they're so versatile. You can use them for so much, and my previous designers and my designers now is also using them, and they come up with a lot of cool stuff like art dress forms and whatnot. So really pretty works. And there you can see this pretty flowers here. Those tiny little sequins just makes it pop and draws your eye into the project. And you can see this touch of this color on the back just makes those swirlies pop. And here's another one of those doodads. Really happy how it turned out. And then sorry, the last one, and oh, I just had so much fun playing with a color I don't usually use. And here you can see another butterfly, and there again the same finish on this. So it's alternating between the butterflies in this and the main image flap with the flowers. Really nice. And then it's just finished up, so she can easily hang this. So it will be both gift bags. There are lots of nice laces in here from Shabbylishmas, of course. And then she can hang this in her craft room. How cool is that? It's dual purpose, and it's a super gift to give to somebody, right? So, but that holds the laces, you know? There's more in Shabbylishmas than just laces. So, I created gift bags. And you have seen me create these gift bags before, and they hold some kind of bread we have here, and they of course they are wrapped in plastic inside here when we get them, so the box is not stained whatsoever. So this is recycling and repurposing, and I love doing that.